My name is Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to walk through the entire UFC Vegas 62 fight card. I'm going to give you my picks, my predictions, and my DraftKings plays. But before I jump in, head on over to WeWantPicks.com and become a premium member. Premium membership gets you all sorts of things, including a DraftKings optimizer. A DraftKings optimizer. All you do is pre-populated with the fighters, their projected scores, their projected ownerships. You go in there, you click a few buttons, and it will build a lineup for you. It will build 150 lineups for you. So head on over to WeWantPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member. It's only $10 a month. You get access to the optimizer. We rank every single fighter by salary. We give you the projected ownerships. We even give you our bets, our picks, our raw notes, and a ton of other stuff. WeWantPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member. It is literally $10 a month. That's $2.50 a week for everything that I just mentioned and more. So let's go ahead and break down this entire card. Two things to note. One, Joanderson Brito has been added. He was off the card because his opponent dropped. He's got a new opponent. He is back on, and he is in the slate. And Askar Askarov versus Brandon Royval, that is canceled. Askar Askarov is having trouble making weight. Fight has been canceled. So let's go ahead and jump in. And opening up the card, we have Pete Rodriguez taking on Mike Jackson. Neither one of these guys are very good. Neither one is very good. And that's what makes this so tricky, because Pete Rodriguez is better than Mike Jackson, but again, neither one are good. Pete Rodriguez coming off that loss to Jack Della Maddalena, he was essentially jabbed to death. But Pete has power. He comes forward. He throws heavy. And he's fighting Mike Jackson, who's not good. He's a striker. He's 2-1. He's actually technically 1-1 because this win over CM Punk, he smoked some weed. They took that win away. Mickey Gall smoked him. This is not a win. This is not a win. His last fight, he got poked in the eye, took the easy way out, and that was it. Mike Jackson hates the world. Check out his Twitter. He's angry at literally everybody. He's just showing up for a paycheck. And the problem is, he actually is a decent striker. But I just don't know how well prepared he is. I don't know how much he's taking this seriously. There's just so many questions here. Pete should knock his head off. And that's why he's got that $9,500 price point. Don't play Mike Jackson. If you want to play Pete Rodriguez, you probably will get a stoppage. You'll probably get it early. You'll probably score those points. But Mike Jackson is a striker that can honestly hang if he can hit a rhythm. But if Pete comes in throwing bombs, doesn't give him room to breathe, then that's probably going to be into that. Then we have Tatsuru Tyra taking on CJ Vergara. This is another interesting fight. So Tatsuru Tyra is a big favorite here at $9,100. He's a really big prospect coming out of Japan. I think he's the #1 ranked fighter in Japan. He could do all the things. He can strike, he can grapple, and he's sort of a gritty type guy. His grappling's not amazing, but he'll stick with it. He'll drag you to the ground. And he's fighting CJ Vergara. CJ Vergara is a legitimate dog. He is a dog. He will come out there and he will fight for every penny. He will put it all on the line. He will keep coming forward. He will not stop. He's a good striker. He's got clean boxing, solid knees. And he just, he uses his clinch work. He shows his power there. This win over Clayton Rodriguez was really nice, just nonstop forward pressure. He did get him down, and that's the problem here, is that you can take CJ Vergara down. You can take him down. That forward pressure gets him taken down. And once he's on the ground, he's got to just keep working back to his feet. And that's really what happened in this fight. He got taken down, he'd get up, he would keep working. He got taken down, he'd get up, he would keep working. So I think CJ Vergara is a very live dog, especially at $7,100. I will probably have him in my lineup, but this is definitely a situation where Tatsuru Tyra can take him down just over and over or hold him there. But I like CJ Vergara as just an absolute animal, and his forward pressure. You need underdogs in your lineups. I think he's a good one to have. Then we have Pereira Rodriguez taking on Sam Hughes. Pereira Rodriguez is just a legitimate talent. She looks very, very good. She's a nasty striker, real finishing ability. She plots forward, lets her hands fly. And it's really like a brawl, but it is a very controlled type situation. And she works in takedowns as well. She had 3 in that last fight. She's fighting Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes sort of started her career on a pretty bad skid. But look at this, 0 takedowns. Her last 2 wins, 6 takedowns. She has turned into a grappler. She's starting to use the wrestling. She comes forward, and she's a tough girl. And this is another really tough pick here, because I think Pereira Rodriguez is the better fighter. She's going to be the better striker. She's going to be the better overall jiu-jitsu grappler. But can Sam Hughes just come forward, push, pressure, wrestle? Absolutely. Absolutely. So this is a really tough fight to pick. I will probably leave them out of my DraftKings lineup. Pereira Rodriguez is the pick, but there is absolutely a very obvious, I don't know what the word is, but there is a world where Sam Hughes just comes forward, gets takedowns, and wins this fight. So I'm probably not going to have him in my lineup, but Pereira Rodriguez is the pick. We have Joe Anderson Brito. He should be in your lineup, $9,400. He's definitely my pick. He's nasty. He's got power in his hands. He's got jiu-jitsu. He's a very, very good fighter. A very, very good fighter. Obviously, he's coming off that quick knockout over Touchy-Feely. Touchy-Feely does have a questionable chin, and I know he looked amazing in his last fight, so obviously this is a very credible win, but you really can't put the world on it because you hit him in the face, he will go down. He's fighting UFC newcomer. We're not going to see any data here. Lucas Alexander. Lucas is taking this on short notice, but he's good. Lucas is good. He's a well-rounded guy, powerful striker, has really nice kicks to manage range. He explodes in pocket. He's got okay grappling. It's mostly defensive though, but Lucas Alexander is an absolute dog. And if it wasn't short notice, I'd be a little more worried about it, but it is short notice. Joe Anderson Brito is an animal. I like him. $9,400. He's the pick. He will be in my lineup. Then we have a battle of the grapplers. Listen, you guys are going to be split on who to pick here. Whatever side you're on, that person should be in your lineup. We have a great price point here for both guys, and there's going to be a million takedowns. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Nick Maximoff is taking on Jacob Mulcoon. He's coming off this loss to Andre Petrosky. He was submitted early, but it was a shot. He took a shot. Nick took a shot. There was a scramble, and he got submitted. That's what happened. But before that, he smoked Soriano with 11 takedowns, smoked Brundage with 4 takedowns. He puts up some very real points. And he's fighting Jacob Mulcoon, who is in a similar situation. He's coming off that loss to Brendan Allen. I think he won the fight. A lot of people think he won that fight. But he scored 68 points in a loss, and that's because of 7 takedowns. 6, 8. I mean, this guy puts up very real numbers because of those takedowns, and that's why one of them should be in your lineup. I like Nick Maximoff because I think he's the better overall wrestler. He's got actual college wrestling experience, and I think he's the better pure grappler. So with that logic, how could I not pick him in this matchup? But Jacob Mulcoon's very good, and this may just be who shoots first, and Jacob could win this fight. I will have Nick Maximoff in my lineup. If you think Jacob wins the fight, he 100% should be in your lineup. Both of these guys, or one of them, should be in your lineup because the numbers that they put up in wins because of the grappling, because we all know DraftKings loves grappling. Then we have Victor Henry taking on Rafael Asuncao, another heavy favorite. And I get it. Victor Henry's coming off this win over Hani Barcelos, which just looks better and better every single day. He's a very good fighter. He's very well-rounded, just a come-forward striker with a wide variety of attacks. He will work in every type of strike possible. He defended 6 takedowns from Hani Barcelos, who is a 3-time national champion wrestler in Brazil. So Victor Henry is very good, will keep this fight standing, should be in your lineup at $9,300. He's fighting Rafael Asuncao. This guy's a tried and true vet. You're going to see 4 losses in a row, but Ricky Simon, solid loss. Cody Garbrandt, solid loss. Corey Sandhagen, solid loss. Marlon Moraes in 2019, solid loss. These are good losses. And look at the wins. Rob Font. I mean, Marlon Moraes the first time. Aljamain Sterling. These are good wins. He's a very good fighter. Don't let the recent record fool you, but this will be a striking match because Victor Henry's takedown defense is so good. And how could you not go with the far better striker in this match? Victor Henry will win this fight. Should be in your lineup. Odds are saying it goes the distance. I do not think it does. I think Victor Henry puts away Rafael Asuncao. Then we have, where are we? Let's scroll up. We got Manny Martinez taking on Brandon Davis. I like Manny Martinez in this fight as well. He's an aggressive striker, solid power. He's always looking for a finish. He's coming off this loss to Ronnie Lawrence, but that was an incredible fight. He was knocked down twice. He got 2 of his own knockdowns. He had a reversal. Just absolutely fought for your money. $6,900. He put up 54 points against a guy that just took him down over and over again. He was taken down 6 times. Still put up 54 points. He's just a dog. I'm using that a lot in this breakdown, but he is an absolute dog. He's fighting Brandon Davis. Brandon Davis, this is his second stint in the UFC. You'll see he had these losses in 2019, got some wins together, came back, and then, coming off that loss. So unfortunately, even in his second stint, things aren't going that well. But he's a kickboxer. He's got okay takedowns, but he does have a black belt in BJJ if it ends up on the ground. I don't see this going to the ground unless Brandon Davis tries to get it there, and we just saw Ronnie Lawrence take down Manny Martinez over and over again and didn't do much with it. So obviously Ronnie Lawrence won that fight. He had those knockdowns, but I like, look at this, 0 knockdowns his entire career. Manny Martinez is an absolute animal in there. He's going to come forward. He's going to throw big. I like Manny Martinez to win this fight. And, the price point's a little tricky. He's not as cheap as I would like, but, I'll probably spend that $8,500 or figure out how to, because, when you get somebody like that is going to fight for your money the way he is, how could you not spend it? Then we have Alonzo Menifield taking on Misha Cirkunov. This is a tricky fight. I probably will not have these guys in my lineup because Alonzo Menifield hits like a freight train. We know that. He has cardio. We've seen him prove that. He's coming off this win over Mazharov, but that was very good win. I'm not going to take anything away from Alonzo, but Mazharov, remember, he was lying about his record. He's been suspended since, so this guy sucks. And Alonzo Menifield did what he was supposed to do, which is knock him out cold. I don't like this loss against William Knight. That's the problem here. Otherwise, he'd be a very clean pick, but he did beat Ed Herman, and he looked good doing it. He had fantastic cardio. Fabio Charant, that is what it is. Alonzo Menifield's tricky because he's so powerful, so athletic. He has cardio now. He's a very, very dangerous guy, but, Misha Cirkunov, very good grappler. He also hits very hard. He's going to come forward. I like Alonzo Menifield to win this fight. But at that price point, I think Misha's still too dangerous. Still too dangerous. I do not like that William Knight loss on Alonzo Menifield's record. I just don't like it, especially now that we see what William Knight has become. So Alonzo Menifield is the pick, but I'm not going to have him in my lineup because at $7,300, it's not ridiculous that Misha Cirkunov could come forward, get some takedowns. Granted, this guy has never been to a decision. One, Chotko, against the least dangerous guy in the UFC. That's the problem here. Alonzo probably knocks him out, right? He probably catches him on the way in somewhere. That's probably what happens. And if you want to spend the $8,900, and if he wins the way I think he wins, he's going to be worth that. But he's got some low fight IQ at times, so I'm probably going to avoid him, go with some less expensive, safer picks. Then we have Dusko Todorovic taking on Jordan Wright. This is another one of those, kill or be killed type fights. Neither one of these guys are decision fighters. They're both just getting knocked out and knocking people out, getting submitted or submitting people. I think Dusko Todorovic wins. $8,700 is probably a decent price point. But somebody like Jordan Wright, who is, he's very, very dangerous. He's coming off this submission loss to Marc-Andre Barrault, where he was just caught in a guillotine, essentially. But he started to work a grappling game plan, 2 takedowns in that fight. That's the one thing that worries me here, because Jordan Wright's chin is just horrific. It's unbelievably bad. Record-setting bad chin. 2 takedowns. Well, he acknowledged how bad his chin is, and he's starting to work grappling in the mix. He got caught in a guillotine here. But if he starts to work in grappling against Dusko Todorovic, he might win that fight. Dusko only has a 50% takedown defense. So, I like Dusko. I think he's going to knock out Jordan Wright. But again, Jordan Wright, he's got that, that wrestling game plan in his last fight. He might have it in this fight as well. But I do like Dusko. Probably a safe pick. Decent price point. But Jordan Wright, if you're looking for underdogs, he's one of the better ones. Askarov, Brandon Royval, that is canceled, because Askarov is a bum who can't make weight. Very disappointing. I love this guy to the moon in everything, but he's done. Then we have Jonathan Martinez taking on Cub Swanson. Listen, Jonathan Martinez is a very good guy. Fighter. I don't know if he's a good guy or not. Very good fighter. He's got good technical striking, slick BJJ. He's got that Muay Thai style, really nice kicks. He will just kick you to death. The problem is he doesn't handle pressure well. If you pressure him like crazy, he doesn't back up. He does back up, and he just doesn't do well with pressure. Very good kicks. Technical striking. He does have KO power. But if you stay in his face and you keep pushing forward, he can have some trouble. He did work in 2 takedowns in his last fight. He's fighting Cub Swanson. Cub Swanson is a legitimate, tried and true vet at this point. He just flatlined Darren Elkins, which was very impressive. Obviously, Chikadze beat him with his kicks, but he knocked out Daniel Pineda. He beat Gracie by decision. Shane Burgos was a loss. That was just straight up volume and pressure. Moicano caught him. Frankie Edgar, fine, that's Frankie Edgar. But now we're all the way back to 2018. So the reality is Cub Swanson is one of the most live underdogs on this card. He will also fight for your money. His chin has held up. I imagine his chin will continue to hold up. $7,400. I like Cub Swanson to win this fight, but he needs to pressure. Because Jonathan Martinez is dangerous. He's very, very dangerous. So he's going to need to pressure because that, Jonathan doesn't deal well with that. If he pressures forward, stays in his face, he gets the win. I think he may, doing some weird stuff in the press conference, like he's acting a little strange. I don't know why, right? And he's coming down in weight for this fight, which could be bad news for his chin or great news for his power. Lots of questions, with $7,400, I will take that chance. And then we have the main event, Alexa Grasso. She's taking on Vivian Araujo. This is a tricky fight. Alexa Grasso, $9,000. I think she wins this fight. She's got decent grappling. She's got very impressive volume, 60% takedown defense, which is pretty good because even Carla Esparza, struggled with some of those takedowns. And that's Carla Esparza. She's 3-0 at 125 pounds, but she is a 115-pound fighter. So she's gone up in weight, so be a little undersized. Vivian Araujo is big for the weight class. She's a grappler. She's very comfortable striking. She's got technical boxing, great low kicks. The problem with Vivi is her cardio. If Alexa Grasso stays awake, stays live, continues coming forward, continues pressuring, she may give up the first round, give up the second round, then take the next three. So I like Alexa Grasso to win this fight. Very, very expensive, though. That's the problem. Let's see how she's scored. Let's see how she scores in decisions. 71, 81, 35 is a loss, 92 and a win. So I guess she scores pretty well. These are 3-round fights here, so you add 2 rounds to that. She can score really well, so you decide if you want her in your lineup. I do think she wins. Vivian Araujo is a very good fighter, athletic, fast, always looking for a finish. But she has cardio issues, and Alexa's very durable, does not have cardio issues. So I imagine Alexa, sort of takes over, wins at least 3 rounds. I think she wins this fight. I don't think I'm going to spend the $9,000. Again, I think there's fighters at that 85, 84 price point that we talked about that are far more dangerous, or fighters at this price point that will get the stoppage, like a Joe Anderson Brito. So I'm not going to have her in my lineup, but if you like Vivi, she's a decent underdog here. Guys, WeWantPicks.com. Become a member. It is only $10 a month. We have an entire page dedicated to DraftKings. It includes ownership projections. It includes fighter ranking by price point. We give you our best dog. We give you our best favorite. We give you our fade of the week. We give you everything you need to build winning lineups, including an optimizer. And the optimizer is literally that. It is a tool pre-loaded with data, and you just click a few buttons and build your lineup. I believe that data is fully loaded Friday afternoons or Friday nights. Go in there, build your lineup, let the optimizer do what it does, which is use math equations to build you up to 150 different lineups. WeOnPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member. It is $10 a month. You have one decent week that pays for a year worth of membership. WeOnPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member.